Hey, what's up, Reefers? Summer is upon us, and that means I'm gonna pay a little bit more attention to my plants. It's weird. Usually people just like, during the winter, you work with your aquarium a little bit more, but for me, it's the summertime. Today, we are finally gonna address this grossly overgrown mangrove tree. I say grossly because in the past I've tried bonsaiing it using wires. When I see the wires start digging into the branch, I freaked out and undo the wires. And then I tried to chop off certain main nodes to encourage growth to the side. But as you can see, I did not keep up with what I started. And now we're looking at this guy right here. There's the ceiling is rapidly pushing up towards the ceiling. And every time it gets a little bit too tall and start touching a light, I've raised the light, but we're at the point that I cannot really raise the light anymore unless I go with some other kind of mounting operations. So with this issue in hand, I called in and consulted an expert, aka Inland Reef, who has a fantastic, not one actually, more than one fantastic mangrove tank. And he is also into bonsai, so this is definitely right up his alley. In a recent reef therapy podcast, Taylor was on with Remy and friends and talked about mangrove care and specifically talked about pruning the plants. So I casually reached out on IG. I was like, hey, can you help me out? I got this situation here. How would you recommend me dealing with this to get the bushier look and just kind of dealing with all these kind of runaway branches? So instead of sending back image to say chop here, chop here, chop here, Taylor offered to just get on I guess a FaceTime and just do it in real time.
I'll address one thing first. So
yeah.
With the wire, I know you said you were a little scared about going back to it. So when you think about bonsaiing, the tree grows, so the branch is going to get thicker. So a lot of times it's a race against not letting the tree bite into the wire. And so what I do is I'll wire that branch and then I'll come back like 2 weeks. That's my normal maintenance of my tanks every 2 weeks. So I'll check again in 2 weeks. If I see that it's starting to bite as in like the tree is sort of starting to wrap around the the wire, I'll unwire it and then rewire it again.
Oh, I thought you just kind of like do it once and leave it, but no, you have to.
No. So you're able to then, and what it allows you to do is then you can rewire it in a different way. So now you've trained it in one direction. But maybe you want to have more of a compound movement, so multiple bends. You can then, it's now trained to grow in one point. Now you can rewire it to grow in another direction or continue that direction. So I get it. I agree. I have a couple branches where I still have that wire bite. A lot of people in the bonsai community, like they try to avoid that, right? Because it doesn't look natural. Now you have what essentially you're using to train your tree, sort of representative or present on the branches now.
How long for mangrove, right? How long do you notice before it kind of takes a form? Like when you take off the wire, it'll kind of hold that shape per se. Is it a little bit faster than a regular bonsai tree, or is it roughly the same?
I would say it's probably about the same, but I think it just depends species to species. Like I think each species of bonsai tree or even mangrove grow at a different rate. Like my black mangroves grow a lot slower than my red mangroves. So I can leave the wire on them a lot longer than I can with the red mangroves. And you also see the same thing when you have like younger branches. They're going to grow a lot quicker than some of your older growth branches that are a little bit thicker. So the older growth branches, you can leave the wire on a little bit longer and then to allow that form to hold. Whereas the younger branches will usually hold that form because they're going to grow more into that because they're still developing.
Good to know. At one point, I thought about trying bonsai, but that just too many hobbies. I was like, never mind. But maybe one of these days.
That's kind of where I'm at too. I have a couple bonsai trees here, just but I don't have any outside patio to really dive into the whole bonsai environment. Like some of those people just get nuts. Just whole backyards full of trees. I have enough hobbies. I think we'll stick with a couple.
I hear you. All right. Well, I mean, I guess today's goal, instead of going wires, I'm just gonna try to use chop. And also,
it's a good option.
Yeah, I guess ideally, of course, everybody wants a canopy. That's kind of what I'm trying to go for as well. But I do see some of these upper branches start growing into the lights, like kind of trying to cut it. And some of the top leaves starting to get burned. Yeah. And over here too, but I raised it, like you mentioned. So that part seems okay, but this part, Yeah, I just want to see like what you recommend me cutting.
So I think, to be honest, actually what I was thinking was we were probably going to you're looking at right now and sort of level off where your other light was. Because my thought is that the higher you raise the light, the more you're going to get that branching growth upward.
Yes.
So if you kind of want that compact growth, I would kind of lower that backlight back down to where you have it, and we'll chop back that front to then make the back, or that front light sort of in line with the back light. Anything sort of above where your hand is currently at, we're going to chop that back down.
Oh my gosh. Okay, all right, so, all right, from this angle, let's go through from this angle as well.
Sure.
We're gonna first of all, we're gonna chop this off. That's no problem. Like, this chunk is gone. Okay, this is gone.
Yep, I think we're done with that.
All right, and then from here, we are gonna cut it around here, or even more.
I'd go maybe another pair forward. So like
forward. Okay.
Not yet. Yeah, I'd probably go to there or maybe one more if you feel comfortable. I like to leave about a ½ inch above that Y. So see where the two branches come across? I like to go the next one up, I think. We'll do the next one up. Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
So go about a ½ inch or like a 3/4 inch above. And then what that allows is for dieback, right? That's perfect, like right there.
Okay, you know what? Let me grab, I'm gonna cut right here, right? I'm gonna grab that, actually, no, I don't need to grab that big camera. I'll just do it here, it's fine.
Grab the big camera, go ahead, do it.
I'm gonna put you down. All right, hold on.
That's fine.
Let me.
But that allows for the dieback. So that way, because sometimes you'll get, like in most houseplants, you'll get dieback that goes below, and that can cause, you don't want it to stem into other branches you have.
Gotcha. That's a good tip. I would not think of that. Because the last one I did, as you can see, the where it kind of closed up is really close to the note. So I think I got lucky. I just left just enough. Okay, so let's see. This is the main branch we're going to keep. Well, this is the branch we're going to keep. So like in between, probably ½ inch up. Here we go. I may not be able to cut the whole thing in one cut. That's okay, right? 2 cuts?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
All right, here we go. This hurts. Oh man. I'm definitely digging into it. Let's see.
Yeah, I might have to take a couple attempts at it.
I know. Okay, almost. Uh-oh, you know what?
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
I cut the wrong spot. I cut one below. Dude! Oh no.
Oh no, okay. Did you cut all the way through?
I did cut all the way through. It's okay, it is what it is. We roll with it. We roll with it. God dang it! Distracted cutting. Oh no, I'm sorry, Mangrove. Oh man.
Mangroves are resilient.
Okay.
Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna grow new branches right there.
Okay, well.
It'll be fun.
Alright. I gotta put this in. I'm in shock. I'm sorry, Mangrove. I'm sorry, Tyler. I failed you. Let me put this down. I'm too distracted. Okay, let's see.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Ah, good lord. It's crazy because I was looking at it. I was speaking. I was like, yeah, we want to keep this, so we want to do it here. Except that here.
Oh no, the big branch.
Exactly. I quit, man. I quit. Here you go. Half the tree right here.
Okay, well.
Hey, you know what?
That was not what
this looks good. This actually looks good. I'm not just saying it because I'm pretty upset right now. But I think this actually looks okay. Here.
I think you're gonna enjoy it. So
this actually looks okay.
Happening was there was a lot of growth going random directions, and now what you can do is you can actually start pruning pairs of leaves. So this is how I do it. All right. So say we have a. Let me find one that's easy to do. Okay. Let's see. Right here. Okay. So you can see how the leaves are going in this direction, right?
Yes.
So it's kind of like a V. Yep. So when you cut above that, the branches are going to come out just above the leaf. All right, so 2 new branches are going to come above the leaf. That's why I also like to leave room, so that way there's dieback, so that way the new branch parts will come out right above the opposite leaves. And then, so say you want to start cutting back your other ones, you can start training which direction you want the branches to grow.
Yeah.
Based on the way that the original leaves are facing. So that's what I would do now that you've kind of taken that really leggy growth that you grew upwards away. Now you can really start like fine-tune snipping of what you have here and get more of a dense branching canopy.
Let me repeat it back to you to make sure I got it right. So the leaves right now, like for example here, one leaf is coming this way, one is coming shooting outwards, right? So you're saying that if I cut here, 2 new branches are going to come out, and the branch is kind of going to follow the direction of these leaves, like one this way and one that way. Oh.
Let me see if I can find one. They literally...
That's great tip. I did not know that.
Okay, here's a good example right here. Here's a really good example. So, old leaf, and then you can see where now the new branch came up right above that branch right there. So you can see this branch is coming in the direction the leaf is going.
Yes.
So then if I wanted it, to go the opposite way, I would just find a leaf pair that was actually facing the opposite direction, like this one right here, and then let the branches grow that way. So you can really strategically cut your mangrove to determine which direction of branch growth you want for your canopy. So you really don't have to wire if you don't want to. Okay. You just have to do very strategic cutting.
Yeah, I like that. I did not know that. That's a nice hack. That's a super good to know. So, well, in this case, like if I want to fill this void right here, right? Let's say, sadly, I would potentially cut here.
Yes.
And then
that way
branches will grow this way. At least one of them go this way. The other way I can just snip off. Yep. Oh, okay. I noticed some of these branches are not as developed as the other ones. For example, this one's kind of skinny. It's going straight up. What if I just cut it here? Would it kind of activate this branch as well? Or
yeah, potentially. So cutting is a really good way to activate growth in its because it has to heal, right? So what you've done is you've kind of instigated like hey, something happened. I need to now send energy to not only heal the cut that happened, but then also promote growth in that area to make sure that it can continue to grow.
All right, this is excellent. Thank you so much. I am still somewhat in shock, but this look is growing on me. This look is growing on me.
It's a good look.
Yeah, it's more organized now. It's more like a ball versus this before.
Because what you had before, that one branch that we weren't expecting to cut, I was going to recommend to cut it back just because of how long it was.
Yeah, that's I think this guy right here. This guy.
Yes. Yeah, I would have cut that one back just to keep the canopy filled in that area. But now that you have eliminated that branch, now let the other branches fill in the location.
Oh my god. That's ridiculous. It's okay. This is a happy accident. I do like this. I would not have done this. If it were not for this accident, there's no way, because that's a lot to cut. I like where you asked me to cut before to leave that branch coming back in. Although that little angle coming in still kind of threw me a little bit. So this works out, I think.
I think it's more symmetrical, and I think you'll be able to keep your lights at a good level. And then what I would say is, to be honest, if your lights, try and keep the space between your lights and your mangrove, give it 4 to 6 inches. So cut back. Yeah, cut back so that way you don't have to worry about any leaves getting too close. I really need to cut mine back, but they're definitely getting way too close to my lights. I'm seeing some burnt, crisp ends on some leaves. But that way then, it also allows you to, when you take photos, you can kind of eliminate the light itself. That way you can kind of take away the light from your photo and you can just see the mangrove. And I like doing that as well. So that way it looks more natural. You don't see the the lighting up above.
One quick question regarding the lights. I never know how much light I should put on. So as you can see, I just kind of slap on all the lights. Is there is there a way to tell whether the trees are getting enough light, or do I need more lights, etc.?
If your leaves are laying flat, right? I always use that as my deciding factor. I have very point source lighting, so you can see my leaves are going towards the light, whereas you have a very blanket light.
Yeah.
And so if your leaves are laying flat and they're not cupping towards the light, they're trying to reach for more light, then you should be getting enough light.
Got it. I know you also mentioned based on the leaf color that drops off, maybe means certain things is missing, like magnesium, etc. But I think that's like much broader topics, and I think you may have covered it in at least part. Well, you cover a little bit of it in part 1 of your reef therapy video. In part 2, which is not released yet, did you go in a little bit more in depth and stuff like that, or?
No, actually no. So like part 1 was myself and Evie and then part 2 is going to be Jack and Julian Sprung.
Oh,
so
okay.
they kind of broke up the mangroves from like, hey, here's a aquarium, a hobbyist, Jake Adams mangroves, and then Julian Sprung, who we all know is like incredibly great at growing mangroves.
Well, I'm looking forward to part 2, but I guess one of the questions I feel like other people may have is that at least once or twice a year, at least this mangrove tree that I have, they'll go through a period of time where it just drop leaves like crazy. Like drop like 10 plus leaves, and I'll freak out. And the discoloration is always kind of like the same way, like certain things turn yellow first, etc. So sometimes I feel a bit nice to have kind of like just somebody who's in the know to kind of tell us what may be happening. Is this normal, or reassuring us if that is normal? Or based on how the leaf look, it may mean certain things that may be lacking in the aquarium, you know?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm still experimenting with that. So like I don't want to claim anything is for sure, right?
Right.
But what I know is that leaves and houseplants usually can be very much a good indicator of like what's missing in the soil. And I treat this as essentially like a houseplant to me, and the soil is the substrate that I have in my my tank. And so what I do is I go look at those leaf diagrams, and hey, I see that when I start to know ion or whatever that they need to be able to help facilitate the growth, and the leaves will sort of tell you what's going on.
Okay. All right. So just FYI, the first part of it's camera heat up. Pot does not record just the first part, which is okay, just a little bit, but
yeah, no, that's fine. We can redo that.
No. I think like in the future when you push out a video, you can talk about this a little bit more in depth. I think it's better that way. But
yeah,
you did recommend the roof tab.
Yep.
So I was able to grab this real quick. Flourish. I also checked the Aquarium Co-ops one, but it wouldn't get here as quickly, so I just went ahead and picked up the CCAM one, and
sure.
Shove some in the sand. Hopefully that'll be okay. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, Tyler talked about I guess indicators of leaves versus like healthy mangrove or what's missing. Instead of having him repeat that here again, which is unfair to him, I think like down the road I'm sure you're gonna talk a little bit more about mangrove care. And I think like for you guys, if you're interested, can definitely wait for that video or just ping him and he'll get more info this way.
I know Remy's really close to me, and Reef Builders is he's doing great with Reef Builders. Yeah. And I don't know, there's been this little running joke that I might help keep up the old Bahama Llama Coral channel. So maybe I'll start doing some videos on there to keep that running while Remy keeps doing the Reef Builder stuff. So maybe we'll see.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I think the more in-depth mangrove care is something that is kind of missing, and a lot of people are looking forward to it. As you can see, like the response to your video and people reaching out to you has been tremendous. So I look forward to you continuing to experiment, and please do share with us what you learn, because you're so great at this. Also coming from the point that you also does bonsai, house plants, and I think they're just fantastic, and you're great at explaining things too, which is a huge plus. Thank you.
I appreciate that, Moki. Yeah, no, absolutely. I'll just state this right here. A lot of the stuff I've learned is all through experience, right? I've unfortunately killed a lot of mangroves, and but I have been able to learn how to keep them successfully and how to do this all through trial and error. So don't feel afraid to try something, especially cutting your mangroves. I know that this didn't go.
I'm still hurting. I can't believe it. I was like, I'm gonna cut, we'll leave this, and then I cut right underneath it.
Yeah, so, but it's all about learning, and you'll learn how to care for your mangroves that way. So, yeah, absolutely. And if people have, if they need help or they want to ask me where to cut on their mangrove, feel free to reach out to me. Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Huge thanks to Inland Reef, Tyler, for spending the time and help me kind of trim back mangrove where it makes sense. And once again, I did not This is not fake. I cannot believe I made that stupid cut. But in some way, I think it's a happy accident because with that branch cut, now we got like a more flat top and it's a little bit more manageable. And I think we can kind of like continue growing the mangrove from here, especially now that he gave me the tip about where the branch is gonna sprout out from, which direction it'll sprout out from based on the leaf's orientation. So that's super, super helpful. Once again, huge thanks, Inland Reef, Tyler. Thank you so much. My mangrove thank you as well, and I'm sorry I disappointed you with that ridiculously accidental cut. Can you imagine if you're growing a bonsai, you grew many years, accidentally just cut it in the wrong place like I did?